Today we're going to compare three machines in the 450 class. The Polaris Sportsman 450 challenges the Yamaha Kodiak 450 and the Honda Rancher AT 400.
We ran each machine through tests for four-wheel drive, suspension, and power to see how they perform in real-world conditions. First, let's see how they handle a variety of terrain like you might find out on the trail. We call it our steeplechase course. From a dead stop, our riders accelerate through a rock run, over a log, through a wash, and then power through a corner and up a hill. The Yamaha Kodiak jerks the rider's handlebars on the first rock. That short wheelbase may look nimble, but this Kodiak is a real bear to handle. Watch the steering feedback. The Kodiak gets hung up on the log, then pounds the rider. Ouch. When cornering, there's noticeable body roll, and the machine tends to tuck under. Here's what one magazine said about it. At sustained speeds, smaller bumps and suspension disruptions can knock the bars around in a rider's hands. The Honda Rancher and its straight axle bounces through the rough stuff as the rider tries to keep the bars in his hands as those small two-star tires struggle over trail obstacles. Watch the rider's knees take the hit. Rocking back and forth while standing on that foot peg is uncomfortable, even on the shortest ride. This Honda could use a little more power going up the hill. Honda is a big name in ATVs, but this Rancher simply fails to perform to expectations, according to an industry magazine. The Sportsman 450 is, without a doubt, the best in its class. McPherson struts up front and proven IRS in the rear take on the rocks and ruts of the real world. It's tough, powerful, consistent, and predictable. Anti-sway bars in the rear and full flat floorboards add stability around corners and up hills. Here's what the press had to say. After riding it, we feel Polaris has hit the mark in the 400 segment. Here are the times over the course. See for yourself. In real-world conditions, this Polaris outmuscles and out-hustles Yamaha and Honda.
Some ATVs claim to have four-wheel drive. With Polaris, you get two-wheel drive all the time and all four wheels pulling when you need it. What makes a Polaris special is its ability to automatically sense this and switch back and forth as the terrain changes for the best traction and ease of steering available. This keeps you going without losing momentum.
This test is what we call the rolling road. It helps you understand how four-wheel drive systems work. Three wheels ride on rollers, and one wheel is held in place by an obstacle. Machines approach in two-wheel drive, switch into four-wheel drive, then climb over the obstacle. At least that's the theory. Watch carefully. The actual results will surprise you. The Honda rolls up and shifts the lever to four-wheel drive. The machine chugs forward, only spinning one front tire because of the limited slip differential. You're paying for four-wheel drive, and you only get three. No deal, guys. Getting the Yamaha into four-wheel drive is a three-step process. Push the four-wheel drive button for three-wheel drive, and watch the limited slip differential spin one front tire. Stop, then flip the lever and push another button. Now that you're actually in four-wheel drive, your speed is limited. It shouldn't be that hard. And on a Polaris, it has true all-wheel drive that locks in automatically whenever you need it. Noticeably better.
Right here is the reason why the Sportsman can go from two-wheel to true all-wheel drive on the fly. It's called an automatic bidirectional overrunning clutch for you guys who are taking notes.
Here's two-wheel drive. Our smart technology automatically senses when the rear wheels slip, even before you do. Just flip the switch to engage both front wheels. It locks in with full torque, delivering true all-wheel traction. This is the easiest and quickest responding all-wheel drive on the market. And unlike any other machine, a Polaris engages and disengages all-wheel drive on its own, as you need it, automatically, when terrain or trail conditions change. So you can concentrate on the trail instead of thinking about which button to push and lever to pull. That's smart. What do you want out on the trail? True all-wheel drive or something less? Think about it. Now, let's get to the next test. Welcome to the real world of bumps. ATVs are designed to handle the ups and downs of the trail, but they don't all deliver. Look at the Honda. That straight axle sends a message to the rider over every bump and keeps the machine bucking from side to side. Watch the rider as he wrestles that Kodiak over the bumps. Even with IRS, the rear end skips out, and that throws the front end out of kilter. And trail feedback ripples through the frame to the handlebars. Read the review in this magazine.
At sustained speeds, smaller bumps and suspension disruptions can knock the bars around in a rider's hands.
The legendary Polaris IRS soaks up the punishment, so you don't have to. The Sportsman tracks right on through. Only the Sportsman stays on the straight and narrow. That's because the Sportsman has a superior independent rear suspension. The secret is in the engineering of suspension geometry: stabilizer bar, bushings, tires, shocks, and springs. A tougher package that handles more compression, rebound, and absorbs more punishment.
The weight sled is a test of raw power and traction in the real world. Let's see what kind of guts these machines have when you drop the hammer in all-wheel drive.
The Honda Rancher, with its small 2-star tires and hydrostatic transmission, slogs out 34 feet, slowly grinding to a halt. The Kodiak pulls away from the line, then starts sliding from side to side, losing traction, pulling a full 49 feet. The Sportsman starts faster. The engine transfers all that torque to the ground with superior traction that grabs the ground and chews up the competition to pull 69 feet. That's our robust all-wheel drive at work. Here are the results. Here's how it adds up in the 450 class. On the rolling road, the Sportsman is the only one with true all-wheel drive to get you over the rocks and logs. Over the bumps, the Sportsman with IRS goes where you point it and tracks straight and true for a smoother ride. On the weight sled, Polaris pulls 40% farther than Yamaha and over twice as far as Honda. Want to see more? Click on individual tests for each machine at offroadreality.com.